Mamoru Takamura is a currently undefeated super middleweight boxer, standing at an impressive 6'1", and depending on who you ask, he is factually the best boxer on the planet, barring the majestic Mexican guy. He has a record of 28 wins and 0 losses. He's not a pushover, but I think he actually might be the strongest character in fiction. He may be able to beat Goku. Disclaimer, I think power scaling is gayer than me. Those words aren't even real, so don't even debate me. Let's begin. How fast is Takamura really? If he wants to play against the big boys, we need to know how fast he really is, which leads us to the first important fight against Brian Hawk. Now in this fight, Takamura gives Hawk a dick kicking, as he basically gives the man PTSD, but the best part about this fight is when we get to see speed hell. These men are going so fast that everyone in the building, including professional boxers, were unable to actually keep up with those movements. Now what does this imply, guys? Does it A, imply that Takamura is able to move at superhuman speed, and by estimation, the speed of sound bordering into the speed of light? B, it is a dramatization to show it, or C, the option where you're wrong no matter what if you didn't say A. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Takamura at his peak is able to reach speeds around light, which if you didn't know is, yeah, I can't say that number,
299,792,458 meters per second.
B, she gets it. And what you need to understand is Mamoru Takamura can do anything. I mean, it's literally written on the page, for God's sake. As we all know, in most fights, speed is integral, and Takamura is essentially the fastest man alive. He can see I even tried to calculate it so my mere mortal mind could comprehend it, but my calculator blew up my PC and I died. I'm just a dead guy making this video, which isn't a surprise because I don't have a soul to begin with. How can I love a character if he can't solo? You think Gojo's faster than him? No, he takes it in the ass. Now, the fight with the blonde bombshell David Eagle for me was more proof of Takamura's willingness to stick to the basics of fighting, opening his third eye like Tien in a way. As in this fight, Takamura was losing, but here's the important part. Just as the fight is nearing its finale, a near-blinded Takamura uses his raw instincts to knock David Eagle out while he can only really see the man's feet. I mean, he's staring this man's toes down and he's landing those punches. Do you understand what that means? Takamura has more than 2 eyes that are only used when his regular 2 are out of commission. Think about it. Despite him not being able to see, he still can. And even then, his raw instincts mean he doesn't even need eyes. Takamura could get both his eyes cut out and he'd still be able to see. And when you factor in him being able to go at the speed of light, it'd be near impossible to do anything to him because he can track his opponent whenever and wherever. There's a fight with Richard Bison that kind of shows a weakness that Takamura has, mysteriously being unable to see wide swung punches coming out of his peripheral vision. I can't say that word, I'm sorry. Now, we don't know if it's a detached retina, although it isn't likely as he would be blind. It may also be his leg, but in my humble opinion, for you Hajime no Ippo fans, something is wrong with his eye. But even then, Takamura proceeds to hit Bison with 2 of the most hardest punches ever. So hard, in fact, Richard Bison does a 180, spins back around just to get a spinning hook to the face, sending him tumbling down to the mat. Do you comprehend how lethal Takamura's punches are? He has the world's best boxers doing 360s. Oh, also, did I mention he steals/copies Bison's Detroit-style boxing? You know what that means. Takamura has the ability to copy anyone because his potential is that high. That's right, any ability in existence he can copy because he can adapt into anything. He can walk into the Hunter x Hunter and copy bungee gum, which we all know has properties of rubber and gum.
You're a pedophile!
In fact, he could do the Big Bang attack. Any attack in existence he can stop. He's basically Jesus in anime form. But everything I've said means nothing, as Takamura has been a man called Keith Dragon, a man who is considered to have God on his side. The actual God from the Bible, by the way. And Takamura slapped him with 2 of the most shattering punches of all time. This man, look at this man. He is on his knees praying. This man's jaw was taken off so hard he started to pray for God to help him. But there is no God in this ring, son. Only him. On his knees, in prayer, sucking. Takamura beat a man who had the Almighty on his side. If that doesn't say undefeatable monster, I don't know what does. I don't believe in metaphors, by the way. It's not in my dictionary. Not to mention the entire Keith Dragon arc was building up to this man's incredible look, like Fallout New Vegas level 10, bro. That could have defeated our Bear Destroyer, but as a wise man once said, that ain't gonna fly. That was the penguin from Madagascar, by the way. If Takamura can beat a man who has godlike luck on his side, can anyone actually beat him? Now, I want you to ask yourself honestly and truthfully, do you think a man who has fought against God's soldier would lose to anyone? No, the man went toe-to-toe with God and he won. Did you know that Takamura actually trained Goku alongside Master Roshi when he was younger? I'm not lying. I would never lie to you. Now get ready for this. Rage. Everyone has a moment where they go ballistic, whether it's losing in Sparking Zero games, stubbing your toe, or accidentally buying a yaoi game on Steam. Wait, no, I meant to buy that. The point is, everyone has a limit, and when people get angry, sometimes they get violent. Ooh. And oh boy, Takamura gets angry, guys. Takamura has a rage boost. Factually speaking, when Takamura is furious, his power increases exponentially. This isn't an exaggeration either, by the way. Takamura's anger basically influences what happens to his opponents. Will they leave on a stretcher, and will they leave in a body bag? It all depends on if he gets angry, and you won't like him when he's angry. He made the man he was fighting piss his pants in fear. Hawk was never the same after this beating, by the way. The man goes to sleep and he wakes up thinking about Takamura. Takamura's massive cock. I mean, this rage boost is basically when Goku didn't want Beerus to destroy his world.
I will not let you destroy my world!
Makes me horny.
Takamura might be able to go Super Saiyan as he can copy moves. Maybe he can copy transformations. Any possible limit Takamura has is torn to shreds after seeing red like this. Like that one guy who would totally kick your ass. Also, Takamura is insanely durable. In the Richard Bison fight, he stayed upright after taking some of the worst punches in existence. You think your pathetic Doden Ray will work? No, it might be a little bit of a love tap though, but it would be remiss for me to not mention his special move. And as you know, it's like Nikola Tesla once said, Takamura solos little bro. Real quote, I was there. Takamura has a punch called the Beatles uppercut, not to be mistaken with Paul McCartney uppercut. Now this is a move that has never actually landed. Do correct me however, but Ricky Mouse, that's a real name by the way, said the punch created scorching heat in his face. There's our key word people, scorching, not a hot heat, scorching. This implies a heat that starts at 40 degrees Celsius and ends at possibly 90 degrees Celsius. This means Takamura is able to generate enough kinetic energy to cause first degree to third degree burns, heat stroke, eye damage, and possibly even damage to the respiratory system, and that is with one punch. And first of all, what I've just said is the minimum expected. If we go beyond our limits like the warrior race that we are talking about the full concentrated power of the sun generating in a split second just to disappear. Now you may be thinking, then why didn't no one in the manga get erased, man? Because he was holding back. Get with the program, moron.
What a sick joke!
You behind the screen right now, can you comprehend the power this man has in his fist? Imagine if this punch landed. Since he already has the power of the sun, so even if we say a person isn't vaporized instantly, disconnecting is going to erase them from existence. Now you may think Gojo from the hit series Fortnite can use his infinity. Well no, because Takamura is using ferrodynamics, so he erases it, so Takamura has the perception of a god. I mentioned it earlier, but look at this clip.
Well, you can't see my frog punch, can you? You're the freaking invisible man!
Despite the fact Aoki crouched down and vanished, Takamura was able to detect him before punishing him with a kick to the face. Now you could say, well that's just basic logic, and to that I say,
You should kill yourself.
Logic in an anime? Do you take me for Homer Simpson? I disagree. Takamura locked in so hard he detected a man that was fully invisible. Round of applause for Takamura, guys. What a goddamn legend. Aoki was so fast that no one even noticed except for Takamura because of his heightened senses. Now after everything I've said, there's a chance you may not be convinced, and I understand that, but what you're missing is, it's something very important, and I actually can't believe you've forgotten. Takamura has something up his sleeve. Takamura is Takamura versal. Therefore, your power scaling debates don't count against God's favorite son, as Takamura can do anything. And the sooner you understand that, the easier it will be. How are you going to beat a man who is Takamura versal? You logically cannot, because there are two types of anime characters in the world, people. Those who are Takamura and those who are not. If you're not Takamura, you can't beat Takamura. But if you are Takamura, you can have a stalemate with Takamura because he doesn't lose. Not following? It's quite simple. They hate us because they ain't us little bro. It's basic logic, and since Takamura is already capable of breaking barriers and dimensions, he can't be beaten. Even if a character exists that might be smarter, is somehow even faster, they'll never be able to beat him because Takamura is the million-point man. He doesn't lose. It's simply impossible. After all, the only man that can beat Takamura is Takamura himself, and even then, it would just be a stalemate. And you cannot deny that fact, as he has the ability to copy other people and do them better than the original. We're talking about a times 100 Kamehameha with a flick of his dick, bro. I know everyone watching this understands. Takamura is basically what people think Yujiro Haname is. I'm sorry to tell you this. Even if a character like Gojo used Hollow Purple, what's he gonna do when Takamura appears behind him and says, I'm glad I'm not that guy? He's gonna pass out and die. So what is the conclusion? Takamura from Hajime no Ippo stands at the pinnacle of any possible debate, as he's so powerful he cannot be constrained by your mortal beliefs. Also, power scaling is bullshit and for mentally insane people, and Takamura solos all of fiction. The only person who can compete with him is Kiryu Kazuma from Yakuza. Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen.